Okay, folks, it's everything you want to know about the SoCal BMX Ride, specifically the logistics for how to come in to Los Angeles if you're from out of town, the hotels you're going to stay at on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and possibly Sunday night, a little bit about the ride itself, and I would also like to cover some of the costs so that people can estimate if they want to travel by themselves, if they want to travel with a small group of friends, if they want to share rooms, etc.
We're in LA now, baby. Woo!
So there you have it. I know there were a few different dates that were posted on flyers. The confusion was around Thursday. Thursday is not a riding day. It is a day to come in, stay at the hotel, prep your bike, have dinner, get acclimated to Los Angeles.
Exactly, it's a race. New York's finest right here. Can D put 2 wheels on in the time that Jay does 1 wheel?
Who's winning? This is how it comes. This is how the bike comes.
There it is, the new.
See, I don't deal with fucking gears. It's not Cheetos. Oh! Oh!
Snow camo.
Angeles, and then you'll be prepared to leave Friday morning with the rest of the SE crew and all the riders, and you'll be fresh on Friday morning, not driving in or flying in on that day. So once again, it's a 3-day ride. The SoCal BMX Ride takes place in Los Angeles in May. The ride goes almost all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, usually finishing at sundown, anywhere from 40 to 50 miles a day. And let's get into it. So I went down with a small group of friends from Northern California. We made some custom shirts, thanks to Redondo.
Ooh, we got some stickers.
Shout out Redondo for putting this together. Yeslin, Dad Mode, Redondo, Huge Bikes, Vaca Bike Crew, Up and Adam, 707. We got a little bit of our NorCal. I've just represented us by little cars. Right, I'm in my green pickup truck, Redondo and his nephew Chetta. And then we had Yeslin and his son, Sick G and his son Yeslin. Nolan Zoo represented there. Gavman came down with us. And we came down in 2 separate groups. So myself, Redondo and his nephew, and Gavman met up along I-5. And we headed down to the first hotel, which was the Super 8 in beautiful downtown Los Angeles.
We're in LA! Look, there goes the policia.
It was a little expensive on a Thursday night at $241. Not the cleanest of rooms, a little dingy. Probably that place used to be rented by the hour back in the day, but it afforded us a spot to get comfortable. We walked to dinner and had a great dinner at a local joint. There were some bars around as well as some liquor stores. And the nice thing was when we pulled up, friends from NorCal were already there, like Rickard, Damon, Rosie, out-of-towners like Mike Plasha, Hood Rich Bike Life, Joe Noblocks were there, and then later joined by, I think, Todd Lyons and Dick Cheeseburger, and out-of-towners like Takate Don, and Tommy Blevins rolled in as well. So anyway, our first 3 groups got to the hotel. We unloaded our bikes, built our bikes up, checked in, had dinner. Later that night, Yeslin and his dad showed up in their car. But back to the hotels, right? We had our first hotel Thursday night. We did not want to leave all our cars at the first hotel because we knew on Friday morning we'd be leaving to go riding. So we took our cars to the second hotel that night. So we took our cars down there. The second hotel was a beachfront in Hermosa Beach. It was the Sea Sprite Inn. It was the most expensive hotel at $357 for one room, but beautiful, right? It was right on the Strand, very clean, very chic, and very nice. Once the three of us parked our cars, we parked on the street. We then took an Uber back, and the team kind of split the cost. Gavman, I think, paid it out of his wallet, but we jumped in the Uber and we went back to the first hotel. Now, the nice thing was, when you are ready to leave on Friday morning to go riding, right, we piled all our bikes downstairs. We still had some small bags with clothing and toiletries, bathroom stuff, so we would just put those in a small plastic bag, and then we were able to leave them in the trunk of G's car. So G left his car at the first hotel. Friday morning came along. We took off riding. We rode through downtown LA. We rode through Beverly Hills and Hollywood. We rode into Santa Monica. We rode down Grand Theft Auto Hill. And then we hit the beach, where we got to see Venice Beach, have a break. And then from there, I think it was a total of 7 miles along the beach to get into Hermosa Beach. So Friday night came to a close, and we managed to get dinner. I think a lot of us were very tired that first night because there were quite a few headwinds, and it was a bigger ask. I think some of us rode 50 to 60 plus miles that first day, and it took the wind out of our sails a little bit. So Friday night came along. We had the option of moving our cars to the third hotel, which was in Long Beach. It was the Travel Lodge. It was only $172, which was the cheapest hotel. And we joked that it was a roach motel, and it literally was. So here's some video that I've got from the bathroom when I stayed there. And subsequently, I received an email from the hotel saying, hey, would you rate us? How would you view us? Would you recommend us to your friends, etc.? So I emailed them back, and I included photos and video of the roaches, actually plural. And I got a thanks for staying with us generic email. So I don't know if I'll be staying there again, but it was nice because there was some parking lot, a couple of beers there, and when you're staying with your friends, you can just kind of walk to dinner and walk to breakfast together, so it's pretty convenient. And then lastly, I had booked a hotel, the fourth hotel, for Sunday night. After you do 3 days of riding, the last thing I wanted to do was drive back to Northern California at the end of the ride, so I booked this hotel for $211, and I also took Monday off from work and told my colleagues that I would not be there because I wanted to be able to travel back on Monday. So looping it back around, it's Friday night. I have the option to move the car. I said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to spend $25, park my truck at that hotel. I'm going to leave it there. So the next morning, Saturday morning, members of our crew then moved their car to the third hotel. They then took an Uber to come back to the second hotel, and we then left and went on our ride on Saturday, which took us along the beach. It took us up and around Palos Verdes. We did the Mike Buff downhill bonsai. You can see the little hill there. Watched some crashes, had some fun. We ended up in Long Beach for the night. And at that point, we all had dinner. It took us a while to get our bearings. And before we could even get that going, right, it's Saturday night. I needed to get back to my truck or my car, so I hooked up with Tinin BMX, and we took yet another Uber from Long Beach. We took the Uber back to Hermosa Beach, so there goes another 45 minutes. And thank you, Tin, for paying for that. And then from there, we moved our vehicles to Laguna Beach. And from Laguna Beach, we then took another Uber back to Long Beach. So every night, we would go from one hotel back to the first hotel, and then either bring our vehicles there or back from one hotel to the next, and then go to the next one and then come back. Either way, I would say that on average, it added about 2 hours of travel time driving in and around Los Angeles every night before you had a chance to have dinner. Or you could have dinner and then move your cars, but just be prepared. If you're going to be doing this little car shuffle back and forth, it adds about 2 hours per night, and it's pretty tiring. From Laguna Beach, we took an Uber back to Long Beach. That Uber was $57. So as you can see, right, we're starting to track some of the prices of what the hotels cost, what the parking cost, what the Ubers cost. Sunday is, I think, maybe my personal favorite day of the ride. You start in Long Beach, you ride along the beach to Huntington Beach. We have a tradition, a couple of us, that we met each other the first year, last year, and then we met again this year, so we eat at the same spot. It's a nice area with benches, and you can feed a lot of people for the price. And then we get to do the Crystal Cove Kamikaze Bomb. That's where you've seen some of the famous crash videos in the sand. And then you end up in Laguna Beach. So working through it, right, here are the prices that can help you estimate along with the hotel costs. So Thursday, we drove down, had a $10 lunch. I think I brought some sandwiches too. I spent about $40 on beers. We had a 12-pack somewhere. We had a 12-pack somewhere along I-5, and then we had another one in downtown LA. Dinner with steak and eggs, cost me $20. Friday, I had lunch with Beach Mode and Ollie from Stockton with $71 to have a great lunch at the Veggie Grill. Spent about $25 on beers that afternoon and that night. And then had dinner with Tin and BMX, Rickard, Rosie, and Damon. $64 at Waterman's, which was some Hawaiian sliders and I think some ahi poke tacos. Saturday, very simple lunch, Subway sandwiches. Shout out to One Way Stefan for giving me the hint to download the Subway app and order my food, which was faster and easier than standing in line for 40 minutes to order my sandwich. So thank you for that. I spent about $30 on beer on Saturday. Dinner, after we moved all the cars around, was about $40 for chicken and waffles at world famous Roscoe's. That's only because we had some celebration drinks. And then Sunday, this is the spot in Huntington Beach that we like to go to. It's Charlie's Euros. I believe it's halal food. We get a family pack. I think it's 80, and then when you add the tip, etc., it's close to $100. But we can easily feed 8 people with that amount of food, and it's a variety of chicken and whatnot. If I add up the beer costs, according to my banking app, I spent $49 on drinks that day. And then Tinnen treated me to pizza that evening. So that takes care of some of the food costs. We know what the hotel costs were. Fuel. I estimate we did about 1,200 miles of driving back and forth from Northern California into LA, and then within LA driving back and forth to the various hotels. I averaged about 40 miles per gallon, which means I bought 30 gallons of fuel. This doesn't seem quite accurate because I know I stopped for fuel 4 times. And I've got about a 10-gallon tank. But anyway, at $6 a gallon, I spent about $180 on gas. So the total expense for the SoCal BMX Ride came to $1,700, which is quite a bit if you break it out and say, oh my God, would I pay, nearly $600 a day to go for a bicycle ride? It's a bit much. But it's the kind of experience where I think it's really important to get out and make friends within the community from NorCal and SoCal and everywhere. We've got folks like J Miles and D Blocks that come in from the East Coast, Mike Plasha, Joe No Blocks, etc. And once you start getting this mix of people and ideas and smiles and fun, right? Wiccan was there. I had some great conversations about CrossFit, etc. It really transforms itself from I'm not just going on a bicycle ride and then I'm going to, have a parking lot beer and leave. It becomes a not just a social event, but it's really a happening, right? And it's the kind of congregation of all of this bike life that's coming together. It doesn't matter what bike you ride, it doesn't matter who you are. All of a sudden you're part of this big group, and I probably met tons and tons of people, right? Tommy from New Orleans, and Linda from Texas, and so many people that it's hard to even remember them if you don't take photos and videos like I do, right? Like Harry from Kentucky, and folks from Florida. It's kind of crazy. So think about this if you want to do the SoCal ride next year. It is a lot of money when you add in the cost of the hotels. You can split hotels. I've seen 2 people split a hotel. I've seen 4 people split a hotel. And if you've got close friends that you can share rooms with, then that's definitely the way to go. So think about it. I probably will spend some time and chop in some other videos that I've got. I know this has been a long one already, mostly me talking, but there you go. There's your SoCal BMX ride. I thought this was going to be a much shorter video, but I wanted to take it in one shot. So there you go. 15 minutes of SoCal BMX ride.